Welcome to another episode of Market Overdrive Quarantined, as you can see it. I am your host, residential real estate broker. My name is Carla Mina, and it's a huge pleasure to hang out with you today via this platform. With me, my co-host, Tammy Scarlett. How are you, Tammy?
Hello, everyone. I'm good. I'm just here at home like everyone is.
I love it. You got to stay at home because you're pregnant. And not just because of that, but because we care about you. We'll make sure that you and your baby are always safe. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little bit tired, but I'm telling you what, this whole self-quarantine thing and everyone being at home has really drawn out this whole new way of connecting to each other at a very different level than I think we all were before. And man, do I ever have an appreciation for Zoom conference and Facebook and all these ways that we can hang out together while this is going on.
It definitely is changing the way we transact and we do business. As you know, realtors are that essential we're essential business people, so we are allowed to be outside and we're still showing property. So it's a different way of us doing business by doing implementing FaceTime, WhatsApp. I've never known these apps until now. I've become very acquainted with them. What are you using to connect with your clients, Tammy?
Mostly Zoom conference, sometimes FaceTime, but Zoom conference is like my main platform right now because it can accommodate, you can switch gears, can have all of us on at one time. It's easy for everybody to put on their phone, it has an app.
Love it. So during these times of quarantine, I want to let you know that Market Overdrive obviously is not just changing its platform, but where we're syndicating from, because obviously we can't go to the WGN studios, but we're still here. We are your friends. We are your resource. You can lean on us. You have a friend in us, and we're going to introduce you to our friends from the executive experience. As you know, Tammy and I founded a committee of like-minded entrepreneurs, and we're going to showcase their awesomes through this platform so that we can continue to educate you on what's going on in real estate, but also give you an opportunity to learn from our fitness gurus, our insurance gurus, our financial planners. And today we do have an amazing guest who's going to talk to you about how to better prepare for this coronavirus financially and how to take care of your business, especially for those of you of the entrepreneurs who are going through some financial hardships because of lack of revenue. So without further ado, why don't I go ahead and introduce to us our very own Erik Cascio. How are you, Erik?
Good. How you doing, Carla?
Outstanding. So excited to interview you just because I think this is going to be information that everybody needs. It's very timely. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your business?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of Golden Tree Wealth Partners, and it's a financial firm. Really, what we do is we help individuals and business owners plan for their future, plan for their financial future. And obviously, we want to make sure that the biggest thing right now is calming our clients down with a lot of anxieties that's going on currently in the market. So our biggest thing is to make sure that we're consistent with the financial goals for all of our clients.
Gotcha. And Erik, one of the things that is really concerning most of my clients and obviously prospective buyers is the fact that the markets are still volatile. They're up and down. One day there's a huge dip, another day there's an increase. And so what are you advising people who are so in shock with what's happening in the stock market?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, I'm in dialogue with a lot of my clients, and the biggest thing is we want to make sure that we're not making financial decisions based on anxiety and emotions. We want to go back to our first day of when we did a financial plan. We want to make sure that the goals are consistent and the path to get there is, again, consistent, so we're not making any crazy ration decisions. Obviously, we don't want to double dip and incur a compounding loss in this market right now. So ultimately is just a review of everything that we have in place and continue to strive to those financial goals and really mitigate a lot of losses right now.
I love that you say that because I guess the message, right? The overall message is stay calm, collected. And when you first met with people, you had a plan, so low, high, medium risk. And whatever that was, you just have to stay on track with that plan, correct? Don't deviate from that, because if you start getting emotional, taking out your money, then you may lose everything just because you took it out at the wrong time. So you're saying longevity, just stick through it?
Stick through it. Obviously, we want to mitigate as many losses as possible. But part of the things that we do at Golden Tree Wealth Partners is we find ways and unique ways of different assets that are not correlated with short-term volatility, so that we can rely on and have more of a buffer in these types of situations that we're going through currently.
Gotcha. Great advice. So now, Erik, as you know, the unemployment rate is increasing, and it's increasing at a high pace, and it's very concerning, especially for those the companies that are not making any revenue. People are getting laid off. So what can we do to protect ourselves specifically through insurance programs?
Yeah, I think right now, since everyone does have time and is essentially on lockdown, what we want to do is really do our full review of what you have in place currently, and make sure that we're not taking on additional risks, to where we have some risk management in place, reviewing policies, making sure that they're updated, making sure that we're, again, going into the correct plan in which we want to accomplish. So right now is a great time to take some of that time and do a review with a financial professional and go through those things right now.
I love that you say that, because we're advocating for you. Right now is the time for everybody who always said, I don't have time to look into my estate plan or my insurance policy or any of those things that you haven't had time to do. After this is all over, you're not going to have any more excuses, because now you have the time. You're at home. You elevate your real estate IQ. You can look into your financial planning. But one of the things specifically, Erik, with respects to disability insurance, say we're not getting any income, we contract or catch the virus. It's hard for me to say that and talk about it, because it's always like so weird, right? But say we are affected by it. What can we do to protect ourselves with respects to insurance policies?
Sure, that's a good question. There are many policies out there that what I call income protecting policies. They're more familiar with disability policies, and many of our claims are actually happen to do with sickness rather than maybe a car accident or some type of disability at the workplace. Many of our claims happen to be through the health, and obviously we want to be able to protect your income if, God forbid, something like that were to happen. There are some contingencies that we can use, but that's another good thing, and it's right now it's one of the top conversations I'm having with my clients, is making sure that there's a plan before something dramatic happens, that there's a plan for your income being protected in the household.
So
that's amazing.
Your livelihood, right? What is going to protect you, especially if you are head of household, or if you're in a business where you're an essential business and you have to continue to go out and expose yourself, how to protect yourself in case you do fall ill. This is something that could save a lot of people from like not being able to sleep at night because they're worried about income or revenue. So is it too late to apply for it now that we're in the middle of it?
No, not at all. As long as you are healthy, you're not having any symptoms as of right now. Yeah, right now is a good time to go through and apply for different policies that, again, will not only protect your income, but also protect your family. God forbid something happens. Again, it goes back to risk management. Should be one of the foundations of your financial plan.
Now, without going and citing pricing, right? I understand that there's a lack of revenue for some of our listeners. So what can you say with respect to affordability for these type of products?
Yeah, one of the conversations I'm having right now is everything can be customized and affordable. The one thing I always tell my clients is have something in place rather than nothing at all. There are many plans that we can figure out that is extremely affordable. And again, having something, even if it's small, is better than not having anything at all.
Erik, I have a question for you. In my industry, I'm seeing a lot of the, like what you're talking about, people making decisions out of anxiety. I've had a couple people walk away from purchases that they were going to be involved in because they're just too scared about what's going to happen next. We have people that are, going back and forth on the refinance side. But I also have people on the other side of the spectrum that are seeing this as a time of opportunity. So is this, in your industry, is this something where you have opportunity that people could take advantage of right now also? Like, are there people, is this a good time to maybe start to invest in a particular thing, or start to invest if you haven't invested at all? What would you say?
Yes, definitely. There's some amazing opportunities that we have right now. Obviously, it's going to depend on your risk tolerance. It's going to depend on a time horizon as well, but that's one of the most important conversations that I have, to really understand whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal, there are many opportunities out right now in this current era that we're experiencing.
That's awesome. I think it's important for people to hear that there's opportunity, as well as, yeah, you need to be cautious about things, but there are things right now that maybe you won't get a chance at again later. It won't look the same 2 years from now, that's for sure.
Well, in line with that pre-planning or planning for the future, as we look for the light at the end of the tunnel, Erik, what are some things that we can advise our entrepreneurs or small business owners who are going to have to, restart maybe at the end of this? What kind of, benefits can you recommend that they engage in for their talent? Because a lot of people are going to be losing talent. People are going to be shifting careers or moving along because obviously some of these companies are not able to stay afloat because we had to close our doors and they're not servicing the public. So what kind of incentives or ideas can you give our small business owners so they can start thinking about in the future?
Yeah, great question. When I work with business owners, there's a lot of different options the business owners do have. Obviously, people are familiar with the group benefits that they can offer, the employer can offer the employee. The employer takes on the majority of those costs if they want to implement those, things like a 401k or group benefits. But there are also different options where the cost can be shifted over and potentially offset things for the employer where they don't have as much expenses on overhead. There's some voluntary benefits that we can implement that is automatic payroll deduction that the employer can afford to offer. And lastly, we also have some unique benefits where if there's a key employee or key manager, we can do what is called, what I like to say, golden handcuffs, and give that key employee some incentive to stick around with your business, to be part of that business, and that have a duration of time in which they can be fully vested. The employer can set that up and they can negotiate the terms with the employee as far as the duration of time that they're employed. And then from there, they can have a vested interest from that type of account. So there's a lot of great ways we can help business owners as well.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time, Erik. And please let us know where can we find you and where can we reach you if we have more questions about these products.
Yeah, definitely. My contact number, my direct line is 847-409-0326. You can also email me any questions at ecascio@financialguide.com. That's ECASCIO @financialguide.com. You can also visit my website at goldentreewealth.com and visit me there. There's some inquiries there. The biggest thing I will tell you is obviously our goal here at Golden Tree is to really make sure that you're sustaining the same type of financial lifestyle you are today as you're going into retirement, rather than making sacrifices when you're at that time. Our goal is to make sure that you're at the same level, if not better, during your retirement years. That's our plan for you.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, Erik. It is really hard to get Erik to come on because you guys have so many regulations, but I appreciate your time today. And thank you for helping us out and enlightening us with respect to everything insurance and how to protect yourself and stay afloat during these hard times. Tammy?
Sorry, I was still muted. Yeah, thank you, Erik. That's awesome. Really good tips. And I love what you had to say about getting people into some insurance plans that can protect their income. I think that's really important for people to hear. We also have upcoming, Carla.
Oh, I want to go ahead and introduce you to our very own Rebecca Borges. How are you, Miss Rebecca?
I'm unmuting myself. Thank you. I'm well. I'm glad to be here. Always.
It's hang out with. Finally see you in your space, in your studio where all the creation happens. Can you please tell us, what do you have for us today?
So I thought today we'd do a little quick review on repotting your houseplants, which is something you can do for fun with your kids, for some great relaxation, getting your hands dirty. I've said it before, but I'm pretty passionate about dirt, and it really has a lot of organics in it that help you. The process of getting your hands dirty sort of helps your brain settle and be calm. And then, the obvious is to have the plants in your house, because plants make your house more beautiful and comfortable. And then they raise your serotonin and dopamine, which is great because that's a natural fight against the depression that a lot of us might be feeling being so restricted and being inside. Some people aren't even leaving their houses at all, and they're getting everything delivered. So having some touch points to nature is very important. So we'll do a little, I'll show you. This is a little tiger fern. He's very cute. He's got variegated leaves of light green and like a lime green. And so it's a really pretty plant.
Following you on Instagram, Rebecca, I bought a ton of plants, and I'm so excited about this. How are you going to be doing this? Because I swear I have no clue. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be like, okay, that's stupid. Why is it important? Why is it relevant? Well, because despite it all, right, we're still going to come back on the market. We're still going to help you stage your properties. And this is one key way to make sure that it comes to life and there's life in the space and it's beautiful during open houses or showings.
That's right. It's absolutely right. You can do it with fresh flowers. You can do it with potted plants. You can do it with large and medium-sized trees within the house. It's a really great way to create a space that's comfortable. And whether you're showing that property virtually or in person, because we are eventually going back to in person, these elements are always things that capture the eye and draw the eye towards them. So today we have this is I think a 6-inch pot. So he's still a little guy, but he's not a baby. And I'm putting him into a pot that's about the same size because he's not root bound and he doesn't need a bigger pot. And this is what I have right now. So this is what we're going to use. Because this pot does not, there's the sticker on there still. Because this pot does not have a hole in the bottom, we need to create an opportunity for drainage. We do not ever want our plants to sit in water and roots in soil because they will decompose and it'll actually just rot. So I'm using just some medium-sized landfill rocks and I put them in the bottom of the pot. It's really, really easy. And I usually create like about a 2-inch depth of rocks. That's plenty of room for the roots to sort of grow down and for the plant to sit on top of these rocks so that the roots are never actually sitting in water if you happen to overwater it. And that happens sometimes.
Guilty.
So we're going to pull this guy out, super easy. And we shake it out a little bit.
Wait,
because
you took it out completely? I thought you just put the basket inside the new pot.
Well, if you had a really big pot and it would completely sit in there and you were just hiding this, that's totally possible. Okay. You didn't have to get your hands dirty at all. But if you're going to use a small decorative pot, then you really need to actually take him out and then loosen his roots a little bit.
How do you make
and
sure
then put him into the other little pot. And then you kind of tuck him in there and then you use the soil that you knocked off and you just put it around him and you kind of like, for all the people who have kids, you just kind of like tuck them in, like a little snug as a bug in a rug kind of thing. And you press down a little bit. You're not like, you're not being aggressive, but you're pushing him into the soil a little bit and into his pot so that he's sturdy, right? You don't want to move it around. So he's sturdy. And then once you've done that, you're going to put some water in there. And I like to say, I don't have a watering can with me, but I'd like to say in a pot this size, and this guy is a little dry, and I like working with them when they're a little dry. They're easier to move around as opposed to one that's been just saturated. You put about a cup of water in here, and then you just let them sit. You clean them off, and you just put them on a shelf, put them somewhere. They do well when they're anywhere like 6 feet or so away from a window. They're getting enough light. If you're further than 6 feet away from the window, you're going to probably have to give it a substitute light source so that it's getting what it needs. And then once a month, give it a little bit of fertilizer.
Plants. When do you do that?
We'll say that question again.
How often do you feed it? Is it, because I know nothing about planting, but how often do you feed it?
I'd say once a month you give it a little bit of fertilizer. It's easy to over fertilize it, so what is it, the phrase is just a little bit. So like, as opposed to aggressively throwing lots of fertilizer in there, it's like always on the caution of, like, I forget the name of the phrase, but I'm so sorry. Anyway, I say once a month is plenty, and you're basing it on the formula that's on the back of whatever the soil is. Like African violets have their own fertilizer, orchids have their own fertilizer, home potted plants like this have they're all different ratios of acidity, and that's what's important to the plant. So you're going to get a fertilizer that's proper for your plant, and you're actually going to follow the directions in the back, but once a month is more than sufficient. And then you give it a break. When you go on vacation, you get a vacation, and you're not giving it fertilizer either. So
cool. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And where can we follow you for more trends?
you can follow me on Instagram at Live Plant Happy. You can find me on Facebook at Plant Happy. And the website, if you want to go and check stuff out there, is planthappy.com.
Love it. Love you. Thank you, Becca.
Thank you.
Bright and beautiful. I love the plants. It's making me wish I had more plants in my house right now. Luckily, I do have a tower garden though, so a little bit of plant life there.
Those are lovely.
I know, they're great. So I want to introduce the person who's going to close this out in a beautiful way today, Marina Kostina. She is the best-selling author, healer, award-winning transformational coach. She also founded the Ravenous Life Healing Center right here in Chicago, and she's been with us before in the studio. She's going to join us today, and she's going to walk us through some breathing techniques for meditation that will help us kind of get rid of all that anxiety and be able to chill through everything. Marina?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. And I think that today, especially in this time that we live in, where nothing is in our control, the only thing that we need to really understand and we have control of is our breathing, right? I invite you to really use this time to dive into all of your emotions, because we're so busy all the time. And we as a society, we function that we always need to be upbeat and strong and happy and positive, and we're all of it. And that's the beauty of life, right? So use this time without judging yourself. It's okay to freak out. It's okay to have fear. It's okay to go, be sad or whatever you want to express. But try not to stay there just without any resolution for yourself. And for that, I am giving you a technique which I invite you to create routines right now, routines that make you strong. I wake up and the first thing I do, whether there is a pandemic or not, I create routines that make me strong before I start my day. Whatever that is for you. If you meditate, meditate. If you do yoga, great. Or you can practice this very simple breathing technique that allows both of your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems balance each other. One is created in order to act, and in other in order to relax. And it's called 7-11 technique. It's not mine. I'm just sharing it. I'm just a messenger. So it goes like this. We're going to inhale. So everybody together. We're going to
That means you too.
Yes, everybody. It's a great technique, whether you're in a panic mode, you know how we get anxiety, or whether you're just in a bad mood, okay? So we're gonna just bring our attention to our breath and breathe in deep 7 counts. Let's go. And exhale 11. I'm gonna count, you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more time. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And stay with it. Keep your eyes closed. And just feel the joy of being alive. Breath is a beautiful reminder that we're still here. There is still work to do. There is still amazing opportunities for all of us. Universe is a perfect place for no mistakes. All is well in your world, in your wonderful, wonderful world. All is well. And can open your beautiful eyes. That's a very, how do you guys feel? How are you feeling?
I feel good, except I don't know if Erik was doing it or not. Erik?
You know what? I need to do that multiple times throughout the day with everything going on.
Opens and closes. That's how it should go. Do that
Every time the market opens and every time the market closes, I'm going to need to do that.
It was very, very relaxing. Marina, tell everybody where we can find you.
Oh, absolutely. You can go to www.ravenousLifeCenter.com. And we're actually open online. We have all sessions. I give free fitness classes. We do a lot of things, workshops. Everything is business as usual, just online. Okay? So
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for hanging out with us and helping us elevate everyone's real estate IQ. But of course, today it's different, right? We're from home. We're working from home and we're helping everyone stay relaxed, teach you how to take care of yourself and invest in you, if not anything else. There's a lot of opportunity right now in quarantine time where you can become a savvy investor and learn the ins and outs about real estate. This is a book that I want to recommend while you're sitting at home. And then tomorrow you're going to hear from our very own client, Robin Collier, who closed in just 2 weeks and already has her place entirely rented. Brand new tenants. She's charging $1,500 per floor. Well, $1,500 for 2 of the units and then $1,200 for the rent for the basement unit. So great investor advice. Tomorrow we're going to go through the ins and outs of rental property, how to manage your property, how to write a lease. And then Robin's going to share with you her ups and downs to this process because believe it or not, it's crazy times to start renting properties, but she's managed to do it. And Tammy is her lender. So Tammy is going to walk you through the underwriting process of her loan and just give you some advice. And then later on, you're going to hear from our very own Mario Correa, who's going to teach you how to start looking into estate planning and what does that mean for you. Tax season has been postponed per se, and so some accounting or tax IRS advice for you tomorrow. And then we're going to have our happy hour. Our very own Camila is going to teach us. What is she going to teach us, Erik? Did she tell you?
I believe it's going to be a dancing in heels session. So
Dancing in Heels. It's our very own happy hour, Friday night, 5:30. Join us via Facebook and Instagram Live, and you're going to learn how to dance with us. So if you want to join our meeting, let us know, and we'll include you in it. And we'll have your cocktails ready and your heels so you can learn a few steps. Tammy?
This is one you guys are not going to miss because we're talking about things that are pertinent to what's going on right now in the world and things that you can be doing at home. So, and plus it's just good for all of us to hang out together because nobody wants to be in total isolation. So come hang out with us tomorrow night.
Love it. Again and again, thank you guys. And remember, it's all about creating wealth for your children's children over time. So take some time to love yourself and invest in yourself and educate yourself, elevate your real estate IQ. If you want a list of the books that I recommend, DM me and I'll send you my list because I have a ton of good books and I'm always happy to share with you. Thank you again and stay safe.